Back to the Strait. This shit making me mad. Turn their lights off, man. Oh, you can't do war crimes, so we just gotta have endless wars and keep blowing up frivolous stuff when you could just blow up the island where they got oil at and then blow up the power plants and then leave them crippled so the war can stop. That's how you know they like war, because you can stop this war, blow up. You could send a couple of airstrikes, blow up their power plants, leave it at that. Shut them down. Now let's see what they're talking about.
So we have what could be another possible attack on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz today. A, quote, unknown projectile reportedly hit an engine room and a fire broke out. The crew abandoned the Liberian flagged ship, but one member is reported missing, and that comes to us from Reuters reporting this afternoon. Chief International Correspondent Steve Harrigan reporting live from the region in Tel Aviv. Hi, Steve.
Martha, despite this continued violence and continued reports of attacks against commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, administration officials continue to be confident that a deal for free passage of all commercial shipping through that strait is really on the horizon, that such a deal could be signed as early as tomorrow. In the meantime, CENTCOM continues its tough blockade of Iran and all of its ports. CENTCOM released some video of that blockade.
Cripple them. Cripple them. Like, let everybody else go through freely. Hurry up. Let everybody move through fast. Let the oil move. Get the crew down. Let's make moves, man. If you're going to be in this war, really be in this war. Like, shut them down, but let everybody move fast and free.
Of Iran in action.
Captain, you are requested to alter course to 190. If you do not comply, we will compel compliance with force. This is Warship 45. We will monitor your course for compliance at this time. Warship 45 standing by on 16 out.
Now, since that blockade began, CENTCOM has said it has diverted more than 45 commercial ships. It's disabled 2 ships. Iran, in the meantime, continues to insist it is not negotiating directly with the U.S., but Iranian officials say they are negotiating with Oman. Martha, back to you.
Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Steve.
We are talking right now, we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is the last chance.
This is the last chance. Do you think Iran believes that?
John, the challenge in any of these types of situations is it's all based on the credibility of you in the mind of an adversary. And I think these constant threats, and we find off-ramps to not enact those threats, are causing our credibility to drive to zero in the mind of the adversary. And our strongest bargaining position vis-a-vis Iran was at the end of active combat operations now 4 months ago.
I don't know, yo. I mean, at the end of the day, we try to negotiate. We have something in place, then they do something, and then we immediately retaliate. So I don't think we're soft. I don't think they think we're soft. I just feel like, you know, they're strong-willed. Like, at the end of the day, and then at the end of the day, the country is fractured. It's a fracture in the country. So one side might say something, the other side like, we ain't doing that. We about to go to the end. So I can't go with Megamind right now. Like, I just can't go with what he's saying right now.
And the further we get away from that moment, the less strength we have in the mind of our adversary.
You had a good analogy, a pop culture analogy about where we are with this, right?
I did. I said that from the movie Mall Cops, we'll yell stop, and if you don't stop, we'll yell stop again. And I think we're in that cycle where now the more cycles we have of this, the less likely it is to deter, the less likely it is to compel. And now I think we're less likely to get a good deal, even if Iran decides to give us a deal.
They're talking to us. It's just they talk to us and then they deny they're talking to us because they want to save face. Look, here's the way I look at it, Martha. Iran has been waging war in the United States for 47 years under 9 different presidents. Donald Trump is the first president who ever fought back, and he accomplished enormous.
You see that stat? 47 years, 9 presidents, right? But everybody's putting all the pressure on Trump. For some reason today, when any topic get brought up, something could have happened in the 50s, 60s, slavery, Jim Crow, they bring any of that comes up, they literally attach Trump to it. I don't understand why when people don't like somebody, they give the person that they don't like so much credit and power. Like I just don't get it. Like, stop giving credit. Oh, everything can't be Trump's fault. He's not that powerful. It's just like, it's crazy to me. Oh, I hate Trump. It don't sound like it if you giving him all the credit. Even if it's bad credit. Oh, we're blaming him for everything bad. Blaming me for everything bad is giving me a lot of credit, yo. It's making me seem like I'm all powerful. And that doesn't make sense to me when I hear people talking about racism and black history and slavery and Jim Crow, and I be like, yo, why are y'all giving? Don't y'all know y'all went to white institutions and the white institutions taught you this, and now you're going to try to teach it? You're going to try to teach black people what the white institution taught you? How about you go get real history? Like, nobody wants to really say that Black Wall Street was named Black Wall Street after they rebuilt it. They just want to say, oh, they burnt down Black Wall Street. It wasn't even called Black Wall Street when they burnt it down. It was just literally called Tulsa, Oklahoma. It wasn't called Black Wall Street until they rebuilt it. Then, they kidnapped us from Africa. They did not kidnap us from Africa. Africans kidnapped other Africans, brought them to the shores of Africa, and sold them to Portuguese and white people. And that was like kind of late in the slave trade. Like, the Moors were already here. Like, a lot of black people was already on this continent. Indian means indigo, really means black person. When they were saying Indians, like, yo, they was calling black people Indians. Like, really do your history. Stop giving. They did not bring all of us here. We was already here. That's too much. That's giving them too much credit. They didn't build that many boats. They didn't take that many. It was a lot, but it wasn't. This continent was already full of black people. Slavery was going on years and decades before the first slave ship even docked this continent. People got to really do their facts. Like, y'all got to stop giving your so-called supreme being, white supremacist, all this credit and power, because a lot of it's exaggerated.
Enormous amount of accomplishments. He entombed their nuclear program. He destroyed 85% of their defense industrial base. He sunk their Navy, grounded their Air Force, decimated their ballistic missiles. These are huge accomplishments, but we have to acknowledge that when we had the ceasefire in April, we stopped at the 20-yard line. We were not done with the military campaign. And there's about 14 days of bombing to go to really finish the job militarily. Now, if it turns out that we're only going to go to the 20-yard line, I'm willing to live with that. It's 80 yards better than any president before him. And it's a huge accomplishment. But we have this opportunity here to irreversibly change the course of the Middle East. That's sitting right here for the president to seize. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's concerned about the markets, it's concerned about gas prices, concerned about the midterms. The administration is hesitating to seize that opportunity. Maybe it'll come after, maybe they'll take it after the midterms. I don't know. But right now we seem to be in this pattern where we're in this cul-de-sac since April of, we negotiate, then the Iranians violate, then we retaliate, then we negotiate again, and we threaten, and it just seems to be never ending. And so, if that's where we're going to be, if this is the most we can achieve, it's more than any president in my lifetime has done to set back the Iranian nuclear program.
I agree.
Breaking today, Qatar says mediators are making progress to help reach a deal between the United States and Iran. President Trump has called it the regime's, quote, last.
They only could take but so much. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, he's hammering down on them, pause. Like, it's crazy.
Chance. Our next guest is calling for tough action against Tehran, writing in the Washington Post that Iran's missile attack was a surprise. It should not have been. Years of muted U.S. response taught Tehran what it could get away with. Ben Ahmed Teleblue is the senior director for the Foundation of Defense of Democracy's Iran program and joins us now. Iran learned under previous presidents that it could basically continue its malign activities with impunity, but it's ramped that up even further.
Because a lot of presidents and a lot of parts of the government, they be in cahoots, yo. They be in cahoots with these people. And that's why they like, well, I got to connect. And the government, they ain't going to stop us. Like, they giving us the missiles and they doing this and they doing that. That's why it lasted so long. It must have been beneficial because the establishment, if Trump was part of the establishment, we never did this. That's why the establishment is so against the war, because the establishment, they in all types of stuff. So, and people seen it, and that's why Trump got in there twice. Because you don't want the establishment. When you have establishment Republicans and establishment Democrats, then you really have a uniparty. They both be in cahoots with this BS, and I that's how I feel.
In the last few months.
Absolutely great to be with you. Despite a ceasefire allegedly being in place for the past few months and even a deal, this is a regime that continues to fire ballistic missiles and drones at countries that house U.S. bases and military infrastructure, as well as threaten shipping in the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz. So this regime continues to act and speak as the world's foremost state sponsor of terrorism.
So it learned this under the Carter administration, it learned under the Clinton administration, Bush administration, Obama, as well as Biden. But you see it's even learned under the Trump administration, because after Trump took out Soleimani in 2020, Iran fired missiles at the Al-Assad air base, injuring a number of soldiers, gave some of them traumatic brain injury. But Trump didn't respond to that. He basically said, okay, so they responded, we're all good. And then, after Midnight Hammer, Iran fired missiles at the Al Udeid air base. Didn't cause any injuries, but did a lot of damage.
And then it's like, why y'all just be attacking everybody around y'all? I don't think that's even smart. Like, why y'all don't have allies that's right next to y'all? But yeah, like, why y'all just throw missiles in every direction? That's why that's why everybody's coming together. Like, we got to get them out of here. Like, because they just throw missiles in every direction. Like, come on, man, let's get together and shut them down. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
President Trump didn't respond to that. So you write, as a result of that, quote, in each instance, Washington took solace that the pain it had inflicted on Tehran was worth any damage it incurred. This flawed arithmetic allowed Iran to close each round having saved face, and it drew lessons about what it could get away with. Put a little more meat on that bone.
Precisely. And, we call this in policy world mirror imaging, where we think that the adversary thinks and talks and acts like us. And fundamentally, that's not true. Just because there was no loss of life doesn't mean that what they haven't done wasn't damaging. This is a regime that knows it cannot win an outright battle of conventional capability. Therefore, it's trying to win a battle of wills. And they're even fighting a battle of wills right now against the Trump administration, both on the battlefield and diplomatically.
And to that point, let me pull the quote from your op-ed, because you suggest that the IRGC has determined that there's a limit to how far Donald Trump is going to go. You write this, quote, Tehran has come to believe it can prevail in a battle of wills, despite being militarily outclassed by a nuclear-armed global superpower. Washington's unwillingness to engage in a protracted war that would further spook oil markets, negatively impact midterms, and expend precious munitions like interceptors is by now obvious. The president was hoping that Iran would fold in the first few weeks of this confrontation. Clearly, the IRGC's got a little more steel than the president thought they did.
Well, clearly they have some steel, but clearly this is a regime that has shown us in word and in deed again over 47 years that they will play to the edge, that they will gamble. And unfortunately, we're in a very tough situation right now where on the one hand, no president has done more damage to this regime more than President Donald Trump. But in the short term, Trump has backed away from a whole host of threats, I think 8 or 9. And even a newspaper from Tehran's municipality basically said that all of Trump's threats are watered down and that the U.S. is a paper tiger. So this is a tough position for...
That's why you got to stop playing with them. Blow up... I hope... Right before he ain't gonna do it, but he need to blow up one of them power plants, and then they'll think he's serious. That's why they think he's the paper tiger, because he's talking about blowing up bridges and blowing up power plants, and he ain't did it yet.
For U.S. deterrence to be in right now, despite the good track record that the president has had.
And I don't know how much this is taken into account in terms of the administration's dealings with Iran, or how much people at home really know about this, but over 3,000 years, Iran has been invaded by everybody. Alexander the Great, Roman legions, Arab armies, Genghis Khan, the Ottomans, Russia, the British Empire, and yet it survives.
And yet it survives. The one thing I would say, though, as a first-generation Iranian American, is I would not grant this terrorist regime the weight and the historical legacy of 2.5, 3 millennia of Persian or Iranian history. But what I would say is that this regime is playing to the edge because it believes it's found the soft underbelly of the West. At sea, that's currently the Strait of Hormuz. That's why the focus of the Trump administration, nuclear issue is secondary. The first one is the Strait. And on land, that soft underbelly is our Arab partners. Our Arab partners in the Persian Gulf, as well as Jordan. The strikes against their critical infrastructure, their civilian facilities. By striking those, they are forcing a global superpower to have to act like the supplicants.
Yeah, and Saudi Arabia, I think 4 times now, has asked President Trump to stop the attacks. Behnam, it's always great to talk to you. You've got such a terrific perspective on things.
Pleasure.
Everybody should read your op-ed in the Washington Post.
Means a lot.
All right, thanks very much for being with us.
Martha, despite this continued violence and continued reports of attacks against commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, administration officials continue to be confident that a deal for free passage of all commercial shipping through that strait is really on the horizon, that such a deal...
Yo, as long as America don't care, like Trump don't care, whatever, you don't want to negotiate, we just going to keep bombing. Oh, but we're going to attack people in the strait. Okay. All right. The more you attack the strait, the more we'll attack you. The more we shut, you know what I'm saying, put the blockade up and shut y'all down, y'all losing so much money. Like, at the end of the day, I don't even think it's no point for them to stop now, because they crippled. Ain't no way for them to build back up. Sanctions is on them, can't trade. Their country is crippled. I don't know how long. Maybe 100. I think they put a cripple in. They might not. 50 years it might take them to get out this hole.
Could be signed as early as tomorrow. In the meantime, CENTCOM continues its tough blockade of Iran and all of its ports. CENTCOM released some video of that blockade of Iran in action.
Captain, you are requested to alter course to 190. If you do not comply, we will compel compliance with force. This is Warship 45. We will monitor your course for compliance at this time. Warship 45 standing by on 16 out.
Now, since that blockade began, CENTCOM has said it has diverted more than 45 commercial ships. It's disabled 2 ships. Iran, in the meantime, continues to insist it is not negotiating directly with the U.S.
I think that's a Raptor F-22.
But Iranian officials say they are negotiating with Oman.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno.
Yeah, we're going to end it right there. Still going down in the strait, down Trump, still not playing no games, bomb after bomb, night after night. But be understanding, be respectful, be patient, spread love, not war. Tommy G, I'm out.